Happy holidays to those of you who are watching today. I love this time of year. New Year's is my favorite holiday because New Year's Eve is my wife's and my wedding anniversary. For most other people, New Year's Eve is a chance maybe to stay out a little late, enjoy a glass of bubbly or two, and then try to get the new year off to a good start by engaging in one of the truly futile exercises of the modern age, the New Year's resolution. We know that somewhere between 80 and 90% of people will not keep their New Year's resolution. I would love for you not to be one of them. If you are dealing with cognitive issues, there is probably some health habit you'd really like to improve in 2019, and you can succeed. My goal is to show you how. Hi, I'm Tony Deering of GoCogno.com, the website for people with mild cognitive impairment. This is the first of two videos that I'm doing leading into the new year to explain why New Year's resolutions typically fail and to offer you proven, practical ways to change a health habit that actually work. We know that most people with MCI don't progress to dementia, and many see their memory loss stabilize for long periods of time. We also know that those who are most likely to stabilize are the ones who do the best job of embracing health habits. So yeah, definitely, you want to change health habits, and the new year is an ideal time to set a goal and to make a change, but not using the traditional route of New Year's resolutions. That's a graveyard of failed intentions. Why do these fail? Typically, because they're too vague, too broad, or too oblivious to the obstacles that can cause them to come unraveled. This year, I want to encourage you to try something else instead. We have 30 years of really good science behind health behavior change, and it tells us that the right way to change a health habit is to choose one really small, really simple, well-defined thing you want to accomplish, set a clear, measurable goal, and stick with it until it becomes a habit. So let me give you an example of how this worked for me. A couple of years ago, I felt that I was being eaten alive by the stress in my life. It was affecting my health. I wasn't sleeping well, but every time I tried meditation, I had failed. This time, I didn't fail, and it's because I used this particular method, which someone had showed to me recently before that. It's based on this simple sheet, and you just go down and you answer each question. And I've got the sheet here that you can see. And it says, what is my goal to meditate? How? I decided to try the Headspace app on my phone. I'd heard good things about it, and other people had said it worked for them, and I was willing to give it a try. How often? I thought 3 times a week would be a good number to start. When and where? This is an important question. You really have to try to get this one right. And someone I know had this great idea that he told me that he meditated in the morning. He would go and he would turn the coffee pot on, and then while the coffee was percolating, he would meditate. I just thought that was brilliant because it's a quiet time in the house in the morning, and the sound of the coffee percolating is kind of calming, and the aroma, and I thought, that's ideal. So that's what I started doing as well. What might keep me from succeeding? Well, I thought there were a couple things. The cost was one, and I think the time was one. because Headspace, you pay a monthly fee, and I wasn't sure I wanted to pay it for something I didn't know if it was going to work for me or not. And the other time, I just didn't have that much time, and now I was adding something else to my life, and I thought that might just make me more stressed out figuring out how I'd make the time. So how did I address these obstacles? Well, it turned out that Headspace is available free for a monthly trial, so it didn't cost me anything. I just tried it for free to see how I might use it. And then it gives you several options. You can meditate for 3 minutes, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, and I just started with 3 minutes. And then the last question is the most important. How confident am I that I can succeed? If you've gotten the rest of these questions right, then you should feel very confident that you can succeed, and you probably will. If you're not that confident, you go back and make adjustments, and then you try it, and then you do it for a week, and you see how it went, and again, you adjust it, or you keep going, and maybe increase what you're doing over time. So this method, simplistic though it is, has proven to be incredibly effective. It has been used by millions of people over the last 30 years, and it works. It worked for me, and it can work for you. Now I do find when I talk to people about this, maybe they think it almost feels too simple, too small, too inconsequential. They say, listen, I'm facing serious issues here, and I need to do something dramatic. I mean, I need to make big changes. Well, okay, but really, if you look at it, even the biggest health changes usually tend to be a series of small changes that pile up on top of each other. So look at it this way. Think of losing 50 pounds. Nobody ever got up one morning weighing 260 pounds and said, man, I need to lose 50 pounds, and did something that day and went to bed that night weighing 210 pounds. So how do you lose 50 pounds? Well, the answer is you lose 1 pound 50 times. And if you think of it that way, in terms of losing 1 pound, you're going to approach it differently, and you're probably going to succeed. And then you've created this habit, and you just keep going. But here is one really important thing I want you to understand. Even losing 1 pound is not a goal. It's a result. It's an outcome. It is the result of taking some action that causes your body to burn a few more calories than it consumes, and that action is what causes you to lose a pound. I remember back quite a few years ago, during a Middle East oil crisis, the price of gasoline shot way up. I mean, I don't remember exactly, but it was like $4 a gallon. And a guy I worked with said, I'm not paying $4 a gallon to make the oil companies rich. I'm going to start riding my bike to work every day. And he did, all summer and into the fall. And there was a day in late August, and I was leaving work, and I saw him, and he was getting on his bike. And I said, hey, you're still riding your bike to work? And he said, are you kidding me? I figured it out the other day, and I've saved more than $700. And he said, you know what else? I've lost 15 pounds, and I didn't even mean to. And I feel great. I feel better than I've felt in years. All that money, the weight he lost, the health he's gained, the way he feels better, that was all a result. It was a result of one simple action that he took and then sustained until it became a habit. So that's what I wanted to show you today. Next week, in the second part of this video series, I want to go a little deeper. I want to show you some really good cutting-edge strategies for changing health behavior that are included in this new book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. I learned so much from this book, and I look forward to sharing these tips with you. But you don't have to wait for next week. The simple sheet I showed you today is something you can start using right now to map out a health behavior change you want to make in the new year. You can create your own sheet, or if you want a copy of this sheet, email me at tonydaring@GoCogno.com, and I'll be glad to send it to you. I hope you find this helpful, and I hope to see you again next week for part 2. Until then, as always, be kind to your mind.